We're starting a design studio. It's been one of our biggest dreams for the last couple of years to make this thing together. We've been working on our own projects for a long time now, and we've combined our skills on multiple projects as well. But the balance of how we've been doing it so far has become too scattered for our liking. We've both been working our butts off to set some money aside to pursue what we really want to make. So due to a couple of reasons, we found ourselves at a crossroads.
So, I've decided to quit my job.
Round of applause in the comments. Our dream might seem a bit irregular as we don't see it in the way that's already been done. And with this, I mean waiting for client briefs and then executing an idea. We see it more as having a space, being our apartment, that's the studio, and then creating the things that we really want to see in the world. That's the design part. We capture and share our experiences with you and really pursue that childlike enjoyment of discovery and finding new connections between things that spark joy. I've already been doing this for a while, but I'm looking forward to be able to do this with the person I love most in this world. For context, we've been together for almost 8 years.
What you'll be seeing is work on our separate accounts. So for this
guy.
for this guy,
It'll be at Abelkleinblad, this YouTube channel, my Instagram, TikTok, anywhere where you kind of see video nowadays. And for you, it'll be Aiko Drafts __. As we pursue our own ideas, you'll see us popping up constantly in each other's posts, as there's a lot of overlap in our practices. We constantly help each other out. So on my part, there won't be too much of a change, but in the totality, there will be a more cohesive whole from us as designers. Okay, that's the first update. Everything that happened this month is in some way connected to this dream of ours, so let's get into the recap of June. Get the knees going! Where to start? We went on 2 trips this month and also found a gem really close to home. So let's start there and then we'll head undersea. Just a little heads up, I've been fighting off migraines for the last couple of days, so I'm a bit slower, but I really want to reminisce on what happened last month. On the 1st of June, we went to the Tile Museum, which is a community-driven initiative really close to our house to keep the craftsmanship of that neighborhood alive. It's only open for 1 day a month, the first Sunday. Aiko and I both really love tiles, and I think it's because there's an overlap between graphic design, sculpture, and usable art. And we even have 2 tiles right here that we picked up in Berlin that are Aiko's like pride and joy of our collection in this apartment. I'll ask her to show the camera when she gets back from work.
Aiko toont die tegels eens.
Okay.
Dit is degene waar ik eerst over had beslist. Maar dan kwam ik erachter dat ik niet gewoon met 1 tegel kon vertrekken. Oké, maar als je op deze gaat inzoomen, moet je op die andere doen. Hè? Deze vorm, dat is een driehoek zo. En die komt eigenlijk zo omgekeerd terug. Dus als ik dan, als ik het zo leg, dan ziet je het misschien beter. My babies.
She's so proud of them. Getting there is an adventure on its own because the most convenient way of getting there is taking the water bus. And yes, it's actually called that, which is a big motorized catamaran that takes the route along the Schelde, which is the river that runs here in the city. And the museum is about 30 minutes downstream.
Imagine this being your house. I would assume that this is the line for furniture, so that your furniture would not be obstructing your view.
My favorite new piece of gear that I got actually gets me really excited is this. I was looking for an interchangeable date stamp that I could use for my notes, for my drawings, for my photos, because I usually just drew them by hand, but I like that it has a bit more structure, but I couldn't find one that I actually liked or was affordable. So I broadened my search and found this, which is a fully interchangeable stamp that you can choose what to put on. And you get this pad with all the numbers, letters, a couple sets of each, and some icons. It has a built-in ink pad. It's a highly useful, very inexpensive addition to my pen case, which makes my everyday use a bit more magical. Now, speaking of design inspiration trips, Aiko and I went underseas. Do you get it? Because overseas means flying, but we took the trip.
We're at the VNA East storehouse. You can experience the entire VNA collection that's not actively on show for free. That's just mind-boggling to me. Apparently you can book a reservation to look at an object 2 weeks in advance and then have a one-on-one with that object in the observation or study room. And Eugenie's here as well. So all three of us are highly overstimulated with input, and we're gonna go have a snack now.
No more information goes inside.
But highly recommend. It's inspiration overload. It is day 3. It is the first time in a long time that I'm allowing myself just to live, experience, and come across what I come across. This entire day we had a couple things that we wanted to hit, but most of the things that I took photos of that inspired me, I just came across at random walking the streets. Right, Aiko?
Been really fun to see how certain objects are used in different ways here compared to where we live.
One very fun example of that is the fact that you definitely drive on a different side of the road here, but the lights for the pedestrian crossings are also mirrored. Ours walk to the left, these ones walk to the right, which is something so tiny in detail, but it makes me giggle that even that is flipped.
Makes you giggle.
Okay, next up, Korean food. We've just been eating a lot today, which is a great day in my opinion. We've just exited the British Museum and we've conquered our fear of all the tourists. It looked like an anthill. It was insane. The reason we went there was for the retrospective of Utagawa Hiroshige's work. I'm blown away. If you're somewhat familiar with the type of work that I create, then you know that I love printing techniques. And this show is a huge retrospective of his drawings, his sketchbooks, wood block prints, and it guides you through this life of this artist that lived in the Edo period under samurai rule and traveled all around Japan documenting his travels, the people that he encountered, and a lot of his work has been published ever since. The things that stuck with me and the reason that this show really struck a chord for me is because of, one, the beauty of his work, and also the fact that he created things for everyday use. He made drawings for paper fans for when it was too hot, and there are beautiful recollections of those and examples of those in the show. Plus, there was a section of the show that highlighted the route from Kyoto to Edo, which is contemporary Tokyo, and they were all placed in order of how you would encounter the landscapes when you would travel that route. And in that little section of the show, you could see his original sketches and then the paintings and prints that he made with it afterwards. And what you're watching right now is basically me recollecting my travels and noting what I'm seeing so that I can work with that as inspiration. It was really interesting to see the different forms that could take, and it's made me want to draw and paint again. And I'm curious to see how Aiko will work with the material that we saw today. It's our last full day here. The plan now is to visit the exterior of a flank. The plan now is to visit the exterior of a flank. The plan now is to visit the exterior of the
Frank Lloyd Wright
building, which is on our way to our dinner plans. We're meeting somebody that we met online, an internet friend, so to say. Splendid. We were mistaken. This building is not by Frank Lloyd Wright. It's called the Lloyd Building in the financial district here in London. It's designed by Richard Rogers, who also did Centre Pompidou in Paris. A lot of the same design features can be found on this building. The functionalities are on the outside of the building. Elevators, ventilation shafts, stairs. This building can be spotted from a mile away. It stands out in the rest of the financial district, which I don't mind. I'll let you look at it now. Bye. Are you laughing at me again? Yeah, it's just me being a tourist.
Bye! Bye guys, see you tomorrow.
I've been feeling the urge to make more hand-drawn animations because not all of the ideas that I have I can actually film, but I can make them visual by drawing them. And since I get full creative freedom in my client work, it's been a really fun playground to just test out new ways of bringing those elements together. If you saw my creative check-in video on the 23rd of June, then you know that I had an idea for an animation, so here's the finished product. That video was the introduction to the duo show of Thomas Tula and Diego Bolna at Gallery Hioka Delaney. The title of the show is You Left the Door Open, and the underlying theme is that of looking in and the boundary between private and public. And I instantly thought of an idea of personifying the fly on the wall and linking that to the personalities of the painters. Because if you just look at it, it could look like a funny skit that shows the painters in their workspaces. But I really tried to link it to their personalities in a way that Thomas is really well studied and controlled in his work and his words, while Diego is more reactive and intuitive. And just adding that little layer that you don't necessarily need to understand, but it's there if you want to start digging into the subject matter. That's one of the things that I really love about video. You can put in these little elements that refer to things, and I could keep going on about this for a long time. Okay, I gotta grab something. This table's just gonna pile up with stuff that I want to show you. In regards to my personal work, something crazy happened. But to tell you that story, I'll have to bring you back to Paris. I don't know, what's the pose? Aiko and I are in Paris for the release of 2001 magazine issue 8. That event is tonight. We arrived yesterday, saw a bunch of people that I've known both online and offline, and they all became offline friends now. We went to the Adidas skate event at Bastille, saw Nakel, Carlisle, Sam, Alex, Xander, like a bunch of people that I've been wanting to connect with again. And then in the evening we had dinner with Alex and Ayana and saw the dogs. I'm so pleased that we took the time to come a day early. We did end up walking about 20.5 kilometers, so we're quite tired today. We're taking a bit of a rest. We're looking at a show at La Bourse de Commerce, and we're just taking it easy because the event will most likely be very crowded. But I can't wait to see my work in print. I had the privilege of designing 10 pages by myself and have it printed in the magazine, and I haven't held it yet. I haven't seen it printed, so the release will actually be the first time that I see the printed product. We're gonna go down there and zone out. I kind of forgot to film at the event. I took some photos, but I don't really mind because I was really in the moment. The entire evening felt so magical. I got to hang out with some of my favorite photographers, and then Alex and I sat down on the stoop and had the first look through the magazine. It felt so crazy to actually have 10 pages that I fully designed and shot printed in my favorite magazine. I know that I've had features in this magazine before, but this felt truly special. So we happened to be there during Fashion Week, which I've never done before, but it's crazy how many people you can see and run into and hang out with because they're just all there for different types of work. I saw so many people, made so many new friends, and it was over like that. I actually haven't had time to sit down and properly recap what the 10-page feature in this magazine is. It's photos that I shot of Ashad and a couple of other legendary skaters in Barcelona, bound in a format that I haven't seen before in a magazine. It changes the experience of you towards the object. I'm still thinking of doing a breakdown of that, but let me know if you'd like to see that, and then I'll go through the entire process. June was so busy, but so fulfilling, and I can't wait for Aiko's 6-week notice to be up so that we can actually start building towards that dream a bit more. I mean, that's not until later in the summer, so we have time to test things out and get things going. Now, if you're curious to see what we get up to, be sure to follow along here and on our other platforms. Leave a comment with questions, recommendations, inspirations that we could check out, or just words of good luck. We could use them, and I'll see you next month. Yeah.
See you later with a Z. Wow.